Hey, what's going on to all my gaming addicts and gamerholics? Welcome back to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast, a show all about gaming and other related news to give you that fix to ease your gaming itch. This is episode 40, and today is April 10th, 2022. I am your host, Trey Turpin, and once again, I am here with my co-host, Shane Turpin. What's going on, bruh?
What's up, bro, man? Glad to be here once again, speaking to the people, doing what we love to do, man. It's another week, and we back at it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know we got a great show for you guys today. So, we're going to be talking about how it seems like the Xbox shortages are coming to an end. So, we're going to go ahead and discuss that and give you what we think about that. We're also going to talk about that there's a new Tomb Raider that's in development by Crystal Dynamics. And also, there was an announcement about Max Payne 1 and 2 getting a remake from their original developers, Remedy, in partnership with Rockstar Games. So, definitely, like I said, we got an amazing show for you guys. So, before we go ahead and get started, if you would like to help support the show, go ahead and subscribe to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date when new videos drop. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. And for our audio listeners, make sure to subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to stay up to date for new episodes, and rate and leave a review, which would help the show out tremendously. And of course, on behalf of the Gap, thanks to everyone for just, showing in and supporting the channel. All right. So, hey, you know how we like to start the show off before we go ahead and jump into these topics. We like to go ahead and just, let you guys know what we've been up to, what we've been playing. So I'm gonna throw it over to Shane. What you been playing this week, man?
Hey, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm still in that Elden Ring, to be honest. I've had a
Yeah.
busy week on my hands, man, trying to bounce back, due to some recent days missed of work. But you know what? When I do get the minute to play, I've been touching that Elden Ring. Man, it's a massive world. It's a great game. I don't know if you've touched it yet, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. It hadn't let me down yet. I mean, it seems like every boss battle just gets harder and harder and harder, man. I've built up a lot of frustration with the game, but it's in a good way. It's definitely a great challenge, and it's probably gonna take me a little while to beat it, but I'm up for the challenge, man. And that's about all I've been playing, man. I haven't had time to really touch anything else, which is kind of sad. But hopefully here in the next couple of days, I'll be able to get a full day or two to sit down and try some new games out.
Yes, sir. Okay, trust me. We all have those times where life just comes at us, and we're not able to play the game as much, but hopefully you're able to jump back in it whenever you get some free time. Um, I know me personally, I've whew, I think it was like last week for me or the week before, like the last podcast I stressed where I really didn't play much. So this week I was just trying to game as much as possible, you know what I'm saying? I know here recently, I know MLB The Show 22 launched on Game Pass, finally came out on Tuesday. And I know me, Tommy, and our boy Steve, I know we've been talking about playing that game. I was able to actually dabble in it a little bit this weekend. It's actually my first time playing MLB The Show. So, and me personally, I'm not the hugest sports gamer. You know what I'm saying? When it comes, like I do play the occasional Madden, I dabble in 2K a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I really don't. It don't really stick with me when I do play them. But this one, like I guess since it's something new, I'm actually drawn to it. I created my player. I'm doing, I think it's the road to the show or something like that.
Yeah,
They're pretty much my career mode. Um, I started playing that, and it's actually getting me into it. The matches go by really quickly. And it's like you bat and then you play your position, and then it just goes back and forth from there. It's not like, some games where you watch every single play go on. Like, I'm sure the games would last forever if they did. Like, there's 9 innings, so of course, you kind of needed to speed up a little bit. So that's good there. You can go through a couple games. Like, I think you verse a team like 5 games. Every team you play 5 games, so it's like you go through those 5 games very, very, very quickly. So I've been playing that. I also I dove in. I started Elden Ring, but I
Okay.
all I did pretty much was just create my character. I created my character, and I believe I ran into like the first boss in the very beginning of the game, or an enemy, I should say, and like it was a big old spider, and I ended up dying very, very, very quickly, which is planned, of
Yeah,
course, I'm sure.
right.
But I was upset because, like, as soon as I started playing it, my son was acting up a little bit, and like he was doing something. So I tried to press pause as soon as the enemy came, but you can't pause in the game. So like I didn't even get the chance to like fight, dodge, or do anything. He just instantly killed me. So after that, like I was like, yeah, I gotta wait for him when I put him down for bed, or when his mom is able to keep him occupied or something while I'm on the game, when I can actually play Elden Ring, because you need to pay close attention playing that game.
Right.
Um, so I've been playing that. Trying to think. I know I played another game. I think it was the same thing. I mainly been playing the MLB The Show. Um, yeah. Oh, I downloaded Tunic. Didn't play it, but I downloaded it. So that's definitely another game I was wanting to play as well. So, I dabbled in a little bit of Dying Light 2, just a little bit. I just been bouncing from game to game to game, pretty
Mhm.
much. But mainly, like I said, these past couple days just been MLB. Just been playing like a little series or so, and then I would hop off, spend time with family and things, since I'm not working this weekend, of course. And that's all I've been doing, man. But I would really, I would say I would recommend MLB The Show. I do hear that people were saying that, it's pretty much the same game as last year, and the annual sports title, you can't, what is it, people get tired of it because it's the same game every year, so you can't really escape that. But since this is my first entry, I don't have that fatigue with this game. So we'll see how far I can go. I am getting upset, the grind to leave double A and go to the major leagues in that game, in the road to the show, or they're my career, is very slow. So I'm kind of getting a little tired some of that. So I'm thinking of just actually starting like a my franchise, where I just control the whole team, because I really like that aspect of controlling every batter, every the pitcher, and just trying to get people out by throwing it to first, second, and third base and things like that. I actually like playing that instead of just playing as one player. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely enjoying that. But that's all I've been up to, man. So if there was anything else, was there anything else you wanted to mention before we dive into these topics for the viewers?
Nah, man. Let's dive in head first.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. All right. So the first topic that we're going to go ahead and talk about, we're going to go ahead and talk about that new Tomb Raider that's in development. Crystal Dynamics went ahead and announced during, I think it was the Unreal Engine 5, like they had a show pretty much letting us know that it's actually out. The engine is out for developers to use. Like, I think it was like in beta. I'm going to use that word. It was like out, but not officially out yet, but now it's officially out. So everything that they can use with this engine is out to the developers to fully utilize. And this new Tomb Raider is one of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I got articles for days. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up for you guys. All right. So this is an article on IGN, and let's see here. It's by Matt Kim. So the article says, let's see, make sure you guys can read it. All right. So So Crystal Dynamics has announced a new Tomb Raider game and revealed that it will be built using Unreal Engine 5. Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider franchise general manager Dallas Dickinson promised a high quality cinematic action adventure experience. Dickinson said the team is looking to push the envelope of fidelity and is looking to create an experience fans deserve from Crystal Dynamics and Tomb Raider as a series. All right. This will be the first new mainline Tomb Raider game since Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which was released in 2018. Crystal Dynamics is best known in recent years for rebooting the Tomb Raider series, showing us a fresh look at Lara Croft's origins in a grittier setting. In recent years, it has developed Marvel's Avengers and has been assisting Microsoft's Initiative Studio on a reboot of Perfect Dark. Yeah. Oh, okay. And that's pretty much it. So, I just wanted to, I know this made buzz and headlines when it was announced earlier in the week. So I'm gonna just go ahead and shoot it to Shane. I know you were the reason I got introduced to Tomb Raider. So just what do you think of the new trilogy of the Tomb Raider games that came out within the past couple of years? And what do you think about this new entry coming in and also utilizing the new engine of Unreal Engine 5?
Uh, well, basically, the new trilogy that came out in the recent years, I'm actually very pleased with that. The entries there. I've been a diehard Tomb Raider fan since way, 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 way back in the day, man. I always played Tomb Raider. Uh, and I felt like, the older Tomb Raiders there for me, I just feel like they were lacking something. They were, I don't know, I just feel like they were lacking a lot. They were kind of, I can't really even say what they were lacking. It just wasn't grasping me like that. You know what I mean? But I always stayed a diehard fan. But the newer ones that came out in recent years, they revamped it, man. It completely changed everything. It made the game very playable. It was actually a decent game. I think they did a great job with revamping it. So I'm actually excited to see what they're actually going to do here with this new entry that they're coming out with here, and the fact that they're using the new engine. So hopefully that doesn't give them no hiccups there or cause any problems or anything of that sort. But I'm excited. I know it's a ways off before they probably give us anything, but I'm definitely wanting to take a look at this one.
So, what do you think about Crystal Dynamics? Of course, they did a fantastic job with the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of Tomb Raider. Um, what do you think of them? Also, of course, it seems like even though people were not pleased with Marvel Avengers, I'm pretty sure that's a live service game. I'm sure they're still going to be updating that and tweaking that game. And then they're also working with Microsoft on the new Perfect Dark reboot. So, what do you think? Like, what's going on there? They're juggling three games at
Right.
once.
That's what I was about to say.
What do you think about that?
Uh, I mean, what can I say, man? Yeah, people were let down with the Marvels, Avengers, but I feel like most live service games let people down. People
Yeah,
people
only yeah,
are
only
real tedious.
so only a couple can actually do right with it. So not a
Right,
lot have
right.
survived. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly, exactly. People are real tedious on what you try to charge them for over and over and over again, and actually the content that you actually bring to the live service. So live service games are real hard to pull off. So I I don't really fault them for that. But the work they've done in the past, man, we've had some upsets, but with the revamp of the Tomb Raider before. As I said, they brought it to another level, man. I mean, it transformed the game in my eyes. You know what I mean? You were able to do things, and just the visuals and everything was just they put their foot in it. You know what I mean? Like they really really did some things. But I mean, only time will tell, man, what they can do here, and Would you say they teamed up with Xbox to do the?
They are assisting the initiative on helping bring the reboot of Perfect
Oh
Dark
yeah, the Perfect
to
Dark.
life. Yeah.
And you see, that'd be awesome. What they plan on doing with the Perfect Dark, they've already showed footage of that and whatnot. Correct?
No, it's just like a
No,
little teaser
just a
trailer
little teaser
type
trailer.
thing.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Mhm.
I thought so, but well, they showed a little bit on it, and I'm actually excited for that, man. You know, the nostalgia of the Perfect Dark alone has everybody hyped, and
Mhm.
just off that little teaser trailer, that looks great. So maybe that'll give us a little insight to maybe what they may be capable of doing with Tomb Raider here. Like I said, like you were saying, them juggling three things at once, that worries me a little bit because I don't want them to get overwhelmed. But I got faith in them, man. I got faith in them with this Tomb Raider. I just hope they bring the great visuals, bring the the great puzzles and stuff like that to the game, and just help bring it forward and bring out another banker.
Yeah, definitely. I know I'm just a little bit it's just making me think because it's like, okay, Marvel Avengers, it wasn't well received. I know that, the game is pretty much, I would say, complete. All they need to do is just like updates and things like that. They can literally use a small team to keep that game afloat. Now it also brings me, I know that the Perfect Dark reboot, I know we talked about it on the show, it was having issues of a lot of people stepping down or leaving the studio of the initiative. So people were a little bit worried about that. People think that the game is like had an internal reboot of the reboot. Like they went ahead and are going back to the drawing board and like, they was working on one thing, but with all these people leaving or stepping down, they might have to rework some things and do a different approach of that. So they think that game is pushed out further now instead of coming within the next year or two. It's going to be next few years now before that comes out. But with
Mm,
them announcing, I know Crystal Dynamics is a huge, is a big, pretty big studio.
yeah.
But with them announcing that they're working on the next Tomb Raider, it lets me think like either they have just a big enough studio to work on multiple projects, or they're pretty much almost done with the Perfect Dark or what they had to do to help bring that game to life, that they're going to start the processes of developing the Tomb Raider and eventually start when they're wrapping up with Perfect Dark, they're going to move them over so they can be in full development of the new Tomb Raider. Who knows how long that's in development? Um, like they said, it's using Unreal Engine 5. So with those assets actually being fully out as of now, they could probably just now still be years away from that one being a reality as well. But it just had me curious as to, like I'm pretty sure they just need a small team to, if they're not going to just totally abandon Marvel's Avengers, just a small team to keep that updated, finish what they got working on with the initiative with Perfect Dark, and just go in full development with the new Tomb Raider. Because I'm excited. I really like the first Tomb Raider. I played that game twice. Just because it was a really fun game. I liked how they went ahead and took some elements of Uncharted, and just made it a lot more action packed and made hers feel more grounded and more, I guess, relatable. Just a young girl or young woman, becoming the Tomb Raider. And then the second one, I really personally, I think that was better than the first one. It brought more tombs. It was everything that the first one had that I liked carried over, and it was a very, very, very good story. I have not dove into Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I do know that Tommy, we game share. He went ahead and actually purchased it. He played it and beat it not too long ago. So I'm definitely, whenever I have time, I'm gonna download that and play that as well, knowing that another one is going to be on the way. And people were thinking that it was going to be like the new game was going to be like a reboot or a remake of the first game, the original one. But I think those rumors have been exposed as not to be true. So only time will tell. I do know they said the one of the writers of Tomb Raider said that they're not going to focus on the whole Laura Croft having daddy issues or father issues or anything like that. That's something they want to kind of leave out of the story in this new entry here. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to come up with. Definitely. So, Shane, was there anything else you wanted to talk about this new Tomb Raider? You excited? You think, do you want them to just stick with what they have, or how do you want them to push the envelope?
No, man, I definitely want them to try to push the envelope. But like you said, though, man, only time will tell. Like I said, I pretty much agree with everything you said. I love the Drake elements to the game. You know, as far as the daddy issue thing, yeah, that's not needed. They can scrap that totally. So I think that's a good move there on their behalf. Like I said, my main concern was just being overwhelmed and managing their time properly. But like we both said, I believe that they are a big enough team to be able to juggle more than one game at a time. It just, you know, as long as they manage their time properly and, put the people where they need to be, I think they'll be able to come up with something great as long as they keep that good storytelling and everything looking visually great. I think it's going to be a banger.
Hey man, I love the tombs and the puzzles of the game. Bring more of that, make them a little bit more challenging, and that's what I would like to see. You know, and some of that classic Laura Croft element as well. Of her doing certain flips and stuff and the acrobatics and things like that. I would like to see that too. But yeah, okay. All right, so I think that's enough of that, or we said all we needed to say. So we're actually going to go ahead and jump into the next topic here, which is Xbox shortages coming to an end? Question mark. All right. So bring up this article here. So I've been seeing this a lot. A lot of news have been coming around where a lot of people were saying that, it's easier to find Xbox Series X's now. They actually don't sell out as quickly as they become available, like they have ever since the console launched back in 2020. So a lot of people were saying that, and people were just wondering, like, why is that? Is it because, like, the Xbox Series X isn't as popular as the PlayStation 5 or anything like that? But I'm gonna pull up this article here. Um, all right, so this is an article on the on techradar.com. And the article says here that you may have noticed that more Xbox Series X stock has been available at online retailers in recent weeks, despite the ongoing global semiconductor shortage. With restocks happening far more frequently than we've been used to since Microsoft's flagship console launched on November 10th, 2020, and with competitors like the PlayStation 5 still proving incredibly hard to find, many have speculated as to why Xbox Series X consoles are suddenly easier to find. According to Nick Special Baker of Xbox Era, the answer is pretty simple. It's basically to do with money. All right. Effectively, Microsoft paid for chip priority at the factories, which is why we saw and are still seeing so much more Xbox stock now, Baker said. How do you think they pulled that off in the chip shortage? They paid for chip priority, Baker explained. Money was the reason. Microsoft paid effectively to increase their production and have more stock. To me, smart investment. This is the time to do it. People want stock. If you want more subscribers on Game Pass, you're not going to get them if people can't get the console. All right. It's not rocket science, but if consumers can't buy a product, sales will naturally suffer as a result. Scarcity can also lead to an increase in scalpers, which plagued both the launch of Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 as they try to profit from the lack of supply and high demand. Ever since Microsoft made more Xbox Series X stock available, sales have increased substantially, so much so that the Xbox Series X outsold the PlayStation 5 in Europe in February, something that might not have been possible if Sony had more PlayStation 5 stocks on shelves. It's a relief that we might finally see the end of the Xbox Series X shortage then, but it still be some time until the console is in plentiful supply. The Xbox Series X and S consoles are the fastest selling systems Microsoft have ever produced after all, and demand is unlikely to subside anytime soon. All right. So, this is an article just pretty much just letting us know. I don't know if it's confirmed. I know that was another thing I've been seeing online as well. People were saying like Microsoft paid for priority of chips, which, it might be true, might not be true. I personally, I could probably believe it because I remember in this article, it also said that last year around this time in April, Microsoft went ahead and put a lot of money in securing these chips so they can, you know, have stock for the holidays of last year. But it seems like it didn't really, I mean, it may have impacted last year's sales. It may not have, but it looks like it's definitely showing that they have done something to keep the Series X in stock for, since the beginning of this year. So, Shane, what do you think of, have you noticed that you're able to buy one? I know we already secured ours, so it's not like we're checking every day, but what do you think of them, potentially, buying chip priority and having more Xboxes in stock? Do you believe that, or do you think that you know, uh, people really just aren't interested in Xboxes? So we're starting to see that a little bit, and people really, really want the PlayStation 5.
Uh, no, man. I believe that they did the chip priority thing. I believe that seems like something Microsoft would do. Wouldn't mind dropping a bag on something like that. And if they did, that was a very smart move. A very, very, very smart move, especially with the chip shortages and whatnot. Have I noticed any more stock available? Actually, I kind of have, man. I mean, mostly the S, but I mean the S has always been pretty more readily available than the X in the first place. But I've noticed that when I go to my local stores, especially Sam's, I noticed they normally have them in stock. The S's, that is. Now X's, I haven't really seen those in the wild, but I have been hearing of other friends of mine who haven't acquired their consoles yet, still looking on the up and up, looking on a regular, and they've been saying they've been seeing them, but once they see them, they're not around for long, and they haven't seen many. So I actually have a couple of friends that haven't been able to acquire theirs. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if Xbox, did the priority thing. You know what I mean? But like you said, we both acquired ours, so we're not checking every day like we were there for a minute.
Right, right.
But like I said, I have seen at Sam's. I don't know why. I guess I just go to Sam's a lot, but I know they always have a sign up saying pretty much they have S's. So I haven't seen any X's on their shelves because they don't have them on the shelves. They just have the little cards hanging up. But it
I'm,
normally has a little sign beside it saying that in stock or whatnot. So
well, they were saying they're pretty much saying more about the Series X because we've all
the
known that the
right
S's,
S
they
was
stay
always
on shelf. You can
available.
get them in stores. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? I mean,
pretty much.
some people said that they can get them. They saw some X's in stores as well, but it's mainly, more online available. They don't sell out immediately. Like they're on there for longer, like a day or two before they go out of stock. I know when I seen this announcement, I seen one in Walmart on Walmart.com, but I don't see any more now. And I've checked Best Buy, and I've checked Amazon and things like that, and the Microsoft website, and I can't seem to find one now. So maybe it's just during certain times of the day or whenever they get more in stock, they pop up randomly throughout the week. But it's definitely more so it seems like Xboxes are definitely out there in the wild compared to the PlayStation 5.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely. I haven't seen a P5 like
nope, nope, I
in
haven't seen it.
person, I think, at all.
Nope. Me neither. Me neither. I have not. I've seen Xbox Series X's, but those didn't last in stores at all when I seen them. And I always see a Series X, a Series S. But a
Right.
PlayStation 5, no, you don't see those on store shelves at all. And I know that the PlayStation 5 is a lot more popular. More people want that, but a lot of people still want the Xbox as well.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like if Xbox is selling more, it definitely seems like something's going on. Like, yeah, you might see them more available, but they're being sold out as well. And I just wanted to bring this up. I didn't earlier, but this is like off of VG charts. I heard not to really trust them, or because it's like Microsoft or PlayStation didn't put out their sales numbers themselves. It's kind of hard to believe anything, but this is just to put it in some retrospect. But it seems like in 2022, it looks like the PlayStation 5 has sold 1.6 million PlayStation 5 so far. And it looks like the Xbox Series X and S has sold 1.8 million. So that definitely, I do remember people talking about how in February, Xbox sold more consoles than the PlayStation 5 in certain territories. And then I believe, man, I wish I could find it, but I've seen where people were also showing how they pretty much won in more territories in March compared to the PlayStation 5 as well. Um, and like I said, I do believe it's they paid for chip priority, because like Special Nick was saying, like if you want more subscribers or if you want people to get into your console or into your ecosystem, you gotta meet supply and demand. So I believe that they went ahead and did that to secure the bag, and they're definitely saying they're pretty much ramping up to make sure that people have a console to for this fall, because their biggest game that they're coming out with is Starfield, and I believe it's only on next generation or current gen, not Xbox One, but it's coming out for the Xbox Series S and X, and is going to be on PC. So they want people to be able to purchase this game or at least play it and subscribe to Game Pass. So, because I know you're looking forward to Starfield, as
Oh
am
yeah.
I.
Oh
You
yeah. But I mean, definitely, man. If they want more subscribers, they gotta get these consoles in people's hands. I mean, yeah, you can play at other places, PC and on your phone, but at the end of the day, you know, most people are going to get drawn in through a console. So, I mean, it just makes sense for them to ramp up the production and get these systems out. I mean, I wish, even though we're mainly Xbox podcast, uh, I wish PlayStation would be out there. Just to be all honest, we know that if they were both readily available out there, PlayStation 5 and Xbox, PlayStation would definitely be winning this race. But I don't think Xbox would be blown out the water like they have been in these past years. So uh, that's a accomplishment in itself. But hopefully PlayStation works out their chip shortages somehow, some way. But I'm glad to see that it's definitely coming to an end on the Microsoft side.
Yeah, me too. Do I think this is just curious to me, just because it's like, I mean, it's just a smart move. I mean, they have the money to, I mean, they're probably paying way more to get, these Xboxes in people's homes and things like that. Uh, like, I just think it's just a smart move on their part, because they are behind. They're still in third place compared to Nintendo and PlayStation, so it's like, go ahead. Oh, you can't find a PlayStation 5. 9 times out of 10, I'm sure A lot of people, even though they're selling like hotcakes, a lot of people got the Nintendo Switch. So it's like, hey, if I can't find a PlayStation 5, my PC, I want to have, good performance and good graphics and things like that. And I want, the biggest games. If you want to subscribe to Game Pass, why not get the Xbox Series X, if you don't already got the S? I just think it's a very smart move on their part. The Xbox shortages, if it is coming to an end, that's a good sign, because that means hopefully, PlayStation will be next, and then we'll come back to some normalcy, and we'll just, like, people don't have to scramble and pay like hundreds of extra dollars to secure these consoles or wait in line or anything like that. Like, I just think this is a very, very, very good move on their part. Them taking a hit wallet in their wallet for consumers to actually be able to get their hands on these consoles. That's a big move to actually try to fight these scalpers that are buying them and then like
Yes,
trying to resell them as well. So I
I
think
bet. I bet scalpers are shaking in their boots right now, trying to
yeah,
get these systems going.
yeah, you already know. So hopefully that is the case, man. I would love to go back to the days where it was just easy. You could just walk in and buy a new console whenever you did have the money, instead of you like, oh dang, oh, there is one, dang, I ain't got the money right now, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you do scrounge up the money to buy one, it's ready for whenever you
Well,
want to purchase it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But okay, was there anything else you wanted to talk about this topic before we move on to the final
But
topic?
man, I think we crushed it.
Yes, sir. All right. So, of course, the last and final topic we're going to go ahead and talk about is this Max Payne 1 and 2 remake. It was announced earlier in the week that Remedy, the developers of the first and second Max Paynes, before Rockstar went ahead and made Max Payne 3 in-house, they actually went ahead and made a partnership with Rockstar to develop these games. I believe they're going to use their own engine. They're not going to follow the trend to use the Unreal Engine 5. So let me pull this up for you guys here. Wrong button. All right. So this is an article on IGN.com, also by Matt Kim. All right. And it says that Remedy and Rockstar Games have announced they will be remaking Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. In a surprise announcement, Remedy will work with Rockstar under a new publishing agreement to remake the first two Max Payne games for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Remedy will handle development while Rockstar will finance the project, which will be in line with a typical Remedy AAA game production. The Max Payne remakes will also be developed on Remedy's Northlight game engine, the same engine used to develop Control and the upcoming Alan Wake 2. The original Max Payne games were also a result of a partnership between Remedy and Rockstar, with Remedy handling development and Rockstar Games publishing. Rockstar also handled the development of Max Payne 3. We were thrilled when our longtime friends at Remedy approached us about remaking the original Max Payne games, said Rockstar founder Sam Houser. We are massive fans of the work the Remedy team has created over the years, and we can't wait to play these new versions. All right. The project is sounding like a full remake, given that it will be developed on Remedy's newest engine and it will have a matching AAA budget. It's tantalizing to imagine the original Max Payne games built using the same engine as Control and Alan Wake 2. All right. So, Shane, were you big fans of the original Max Payne games? Are you
Oh,
excited about this announcement? Me personally, I'm a big fan. I think Resident Evil 2 remake set the standards for all remakes. You know what I'm saying? And I hope any game that has the word remake in it follow their example. So what
yeah.
do you think about this these remakes?
Yeah, that's my main concern. Is it just like a remaster, or is it actual remake? Because they throw the remake title in there, and sometimes it'll be the exact same game, and they don't really change much. They just change the visuals, maybe give us some better frame rates, uh,
I mean, but
stuff like that.
they said that they're building it with a new engine, so it has to be a remake.
Right, 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 right,
Yeah,
right,
like from the ground up.
right, right. But so yeah, I mean, they're bringing a new engine, but they can still pretty much make it the exact same game. You know what I mean? Uh, as far as the story wise, the storyline and whatnot, and the way everything goes. But I mean, I hope it's an actual remake, like you said, with using Resident Evil 2 as an example. They crushed that one, man. Like they really crushed that one. Uh, they they left some of the original elements of the game, but they definitely switched it up. It was not the same game. You know what I mean? Like it was
Mhm.
definitely a total different playthrough. So I actually enjoyed that one very very much. So if they could do something like that with this, man. I think they can satisfy our Max Payne needs with this one.
Like,
Definitely.
so what do you think about the originals? Did you play those at all, or
Yeah,
um
man, I played them. It's been so long, man, but I definitely was a big fan about them, man. It's definitely a great game. Like, kind of threw me on the spot right there. But
Nah, I was
yeah,
just I know for me, I remember beating the first Max Payne. I wasn't able to really get my hands on the second one or play that one at all. But I did when Max Payne 3 came out, I did buy that day one and I beat that game. And it was actually I personally enjoyed it. I know a lot of people they had their gripes about it and things like that. But I thought Max Payne 3 was actually good. And I'm hoping that they can like at least like remake that one or like just make it a little bit not remake it but like remaster it because it came out like 10 years ago, so it doesn't really need like a remake per se. But I would like to see them also just update that one and bring it up to date and like better visuals and higher frame rates and things like that. But it's definitely good to see that the first two games are getting remade by the original developers. They could have did any other studios and things like that, but nah, Remedy was like, "Hey, those are my babies." You know what I'm saying? We coming to you to let you know we're interested in remaking them if you will fund it for us and pay our people and things like that for us to deliver this game.
right. Facts. Quick
Hmm.
question for you though. What do you think that the new engine will bring to the game? This
Uh, well, if it's anything like I have not played Control just yet, that's actually in my backlog right now.
good
So
game. Good game.
I'm yeah, see, you've played it. So if you probably have a better answer for your own question because me, I think like just a better like these games came out in the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like these are definitely prime candidates of being remade. Like I know there's other games that are like being remade. Like I'm like the game just literally it's barely 10 years old and you trying to remake it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the Dead Space games. And I think they're remaking the first Dead Space game. I'm excited for that. I really enjoyed the first Dead Space. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like I don't know. I feel like when I gotta go back to Resident Evil 2, for example, the tank controls. You know what I'm saying? It was a totally different game for a different era. You know what I'm saying? For different consoles that had very, very, very limited capabilities. The remake was necessary and they nailed it. Like that's probably the best game, one of the best games that I've played in a while, not only because I am a fan of Resident Evil 2 myself, but just the fact like they did it right. And I think they literally set the standard for remakes. People saw what they did with that and were like, oh yeah, what beloved games can we bring back and remake from the ground up? You know what I'm saying? And that's what EA was looking at when they're doing Dead Space. They want to bring that franchise back. You know what I'm saying? And they're remaking that from the ground up. I'm sure, but I just feel like the first Dead Space and like Resident Evil 2 are like I feel like Dead Space is more modernized, of course, because it came out later, but it's more modernized for today's standards than a 1998 game was compared to when that game came out in 2019, Resident Evil 2 remake, you know. So I'm just excited. I'm hoping to see like that engine will actually they'll utilize it and bring back. I'm excited to see that bullet time because they were the first ones to introduce the bullet time, the slow motion of jumping from side to side and shooting and getting them done. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to see that. But what about you? What are you excited? Are you fans of their engine from playing Control?
Oh yeah, man. Control, man. You got to play it, bro. It's a must play. I didn't actually get to finish it because I had some things happen there. But I got pretty far. I think I completed about I want to say about 75-80% of the game. Uh, I was playing it real hard there for a minute, but I just had some things going on in my life to where I had fell off of playing it for a while. You know how you play a game so hard for so long, and then you don't touch it for a few weeks to a month or so, and then you try to jump back
Hmm.
in, and you kind of forget what you were doing or the controls and all that. And that's kind of what happened to me. I still want to complete it, and I think I'm going to eventually. But that's what ended up happening. When I did jump back into it, I ended up forgetting where I was supposed to go to next, or what I was supposed to do next, or what my objective was, or where I needed to go to. Because Control is a big game, and you're running around this facility, and you got to go to this part of the facility, and you got to go to this part, and then you can figure out some things. And you need to go to this part, then you need to go. So like you're all over this big facility, and you can go to and from places pretty much whenever you want. So
Yeah.
I just kind of lost my direction on where I needed to go to next, mostly. But that game, man, if they take the elements of that game
Hmm.
and put it in Max Payne form, it's gonna be a good one, bro. It's gonna be a good
Hmm.
one. You gotta try Control, man. It's a good game, man.
Yeah.
And I love the upgrades for your gun and whatnot. You can choose to run with it however you want and equip it with this or equip it with that. And it's a good game, bro, for sure, for sure. So if like I said, if they take those elements and put it in Max Payne form and you know, maybe do something with the bullet time to make it a bit different or put a new spin on it or revamp
Hmm.
it in some type of way, I think they have a shot of really pulling something off here.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
really bringing people in who haven't even played the franchise to maybe visit it and get their eyes and hands on it and actually enjoy it. So like I said, they got a nice blueprint to be able to make a good game. It's just all in their heads.
Yeah, I think, like you said, you definitely made a good point because I know that um, Tommy, he told me that he went ahead and purchased I think all three games, to be honest, especially the first two, the originals, and he was talking about playing those, and I was just when he was telling me about it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, those was just so long ago. Like it's gonna be clunky. It's gonna be, I don't think it aged very well. Like I think even when you play it, it doesn't even. It's not even like full screen. Like it's gonna be just a square, because it didn't upres or anything like that. So it's just gonna
Right.
be. I don't know. I just feel like it. That's why I'm happy to see. Like he recently just bought those games, so I'm like, yeah. So it seems like he's not going to have to wait too much longer to actually, be able to play those stories and it be modernized and things like that. So I'm excited for that. And I am going to try Control because that's set in the Quantum Break universe. So, and I really enjoyed that game. That game was underrated just because the Xbox One just messed up everything that generation. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was a really good game. So, Control pretty much looked like Quantum Break 2 in my eyes, but they just made it multi-platform so everybody can play it because the first Quantum Break just didn't do as critically or sell wise as it, wanted to, of course. So yeah, man, I'm definitely excited to see. Hopefully they pull it off. I have faith in Remedy, uh, and only time will tell. So, but
Big
that's
facts.
all. That's all I have for this episode. You ready to go ahead and end off the show?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we just want to go ahead and just thank you guys for making it to the end of the show. We went ahead and discussed and talked about the new Tomb Raider game being in development at Crystal Dynamics. We went ahead and talked about how the Xbox shortages might be coming to an end. That they're it's easier to get your hands on one now, and they don't sell out as quickly as it has been these past couple years. And then we also went ahead and shared our thoughts and our love for Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes that have been announced this past week as well. So other than that, like before I do fully close it off, I wanted to mention, and it was one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about in the beginning of the show. I should save it for the next show, but I just want to talk about it now. I might bring it up in the next show too. But for those that have made it to the end of the show, we talked last week. We talked about the new PlayStation Plus tiers, and how they're merging PlayStation Now with PlayStation Plus. Well, they were having a deal where it seems like if you can stock up on PlayStation Now in June, it will convert to the premium version of the new PlayStation Plus, where you get all 700 games and all the perks and bells and whistles, pretty much. I think it's what the 17.99 version one or the 16.99 version one. So I went ahead and bought a year of that, just so I could see what's going on. Even though I know I praised and talked bad about it and saying that, yeah, I was just going to stick with PlayStation Plus. I just seen this deal and I couldn't pass it up. And I wanted to talk more about PlayStation Now, like that I actually was able to play it. Like I actually think it's a good service for what they're offering. Like they have a lot of PlayStation 4 games on there, believe it or not, that you could download and play just like a Game Pass. So for me to see why it's not, grown like Xbox Game Pass, it's just blowing my mind, just because there was a lot of games, multi-platform games at that. It's just the PlayStation 4 versions, that I've been wanting to play. Like I know Mafia 3 was on there. There was a Neo, the Surge 1 and 2. Like there's a bunch of PlayStation 4 games that are on there that I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on it, and I can download it. I don't have to stream it. I did try to play. They have a bunch of PlayStation 3 games on there, and that library is looking crazy, but you can only stream them. So I tried
Mm.
playing the first Infamous, and I was playing it. You know how streaming goes. It was a little glitchy here and there, but then the resolution wasn't that great. And then it got to a point where it's saying like my connection wasn't strong enough, and it gave me a countdown where it just shut the game off completely. So I just never revisited it then. And I'm like, yeah, I see why people are saying like this isn't, they need to fix that PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility thing ASAP, because they have a
Right.
lot of gems on their hands, and streaming it ain't going to cut it in 2022 right now, you know. But I really think that the service, like the PlayStation Now, so far I've only dabbled in it a little bit. I'll give you guys a full analysis maybe next episode, but uh definitely it's like a lot of resemblance of Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess the only thing I could think of is that I guess the day and date releases of the
Day
Xbox
and
first
date.
party games must be that appealing, because like this is the PlayStation Now. That's the only thing that they don't have on there is day and date, and it's just not doing as well as Game Pass. So if Xbox wasn't offering day and date releases, I wonder if Game Pass would be as big as it is. So it's really definitely making me realize, like, dang, that was a power move by Microsoft to go ahead and do that for that service. Yeah, but yeah, definitely, I'll give you guys more what I think about that. I think they stopped letting people buy a year, because people were buying a couple years of PlayStation Now at a time. I think they stopped that. So I secured 12 months. So by the time June rolls around, I'll have 10 months of the premium PlayStation Plus, hopefully. Um, and like I said, man, I'll let you guys know more about it next episode. But I just want to go ahead and say thanks to everyone for sticking to the end of the episode. I appreciate you guys showing love and support. Make sure to go ahead and follow and subscribe to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast YouTube channel. If you're listening to on audio, go ahead and subscribe to your favorite audio podcast site that you're on right now. And if you could go ahead and leave a review, leave a comment, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Donny Tress, DONNYTR, the number 3S. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow right back. Talk to me about games, music, movies, shows, sports, anything, man. I'm down. I just don't strictly talk about video games. Man, I would love to conversate with you guys and let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the podcast, man. I'd really appreciate it. And Shane, go ahead and let the listeners and the viewers know, where they can find you.
You can reach me on Twitter at Turptech. That's TURPTECH. As always, willing to talk, conversate, or game. As long as I'm not at work, I'm down to play, man. As long as I got free time. Here lately, I've been working a lot, but real soon that's about to stop. So I'm about to have tons of free time on my hands. And we love the criticism, good, bad, and ugly. We're not afraid to take harsh criticism. Tell us how we're doing, what we're doing wrong, things we can work on. We'll listen to it all. We might not necessarily respond back to all the hatred, but we'll definitely try to listen to some of it, okay? And
Facts.
I appreciate you all for making it this far, making it to the end. But as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your friends, share with people. Please help us get out there. We're giving this our all, and we're going to continue. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep coming every week. I know that the information's been a little scarce here lately, but that's just the industry. But we're rolling with the punches.
Yes, sir.
We're making it happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We're making smaller news, bigger news for you
Right,
guys. You know what
right.
I'm saying? So that's all about that's our jobs to bring that to you guys and come up with the content. So definitely, man, like you said, appreciate it all. Yep. But of course, it's been fun, it's been real. But until next time, never stop gaming. Peace.